Have you ever felt like someone in your life might be taking advantage of you? I remember a time when I had a friend who only called me when they needed a favor. At first, I thought it was just a coincidence, but as time went on, it became clear that they were only around when it benefited them. I felt used and unappreciated, yet I didn't know how to address it. This experience made me realize the importance of recognizing the signs that someone might be using you. In this video, we'll empower you with 14 clues that suggest people are using you. By understanding these signs, you can take back control of your relationships and ensure they're based on mutual respect and care. So stick around till the end, because what you'll learn could change the way you see the people around you and help you build healthier, more fulfilling connections. It's a scenario many of us are familiar with. You haven't heard from a friend or acquaintance in months, and suddenly, out of the blue, they get in touch. But instead of a friendly catch-up, they're asking for a favor. They may need to borrow money, ask for a ride, or want help with a project. This pattern can be incredibly telling, as can other signs such as always being the one to initiate contact, feeling like you're always the one giving in the relationship, or feeling emotionally drained after interactions. Imagine you've been swamped with work and personal commitments. One day, your phone buzzes with a message from a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. They're not checking in to see how you're doing. They need help moving this weekend. This isn't a one-off. It happens every few months, always when they need something. I had a friend who would only contact me during tax season, needing help to file their returns. The rest of the year, they were virtually non-existent. Initially, I brushed it off, thinking they were just busy. However, the pattern continued, and it became clear that our friendship was purely transactional, based on what they could get from me, rather than a genuine connection where we both support and care for each other. This behavior often stems from a lack of genuine investment in the relationship. The person values what you can do for them more than the relationship itself. It's a clear indicator of an imbalance that can lead to emotional burnout, a state of chronic physical and emotional exhaustion for the person being used. Reciprocity in relationships is about mutual exchange. It's the give and take that keeps the balance. When one person is always giving and the other is always taking, it creates an unhealthy dynamic. In a balanced relationship, both parties contribute and benefit, creating a mutually supportive and respectful environment. Consider a friend who never contributes to group activities or splits bills, but is always first in line when someone else is paying. They expect you to listen to their problems for hours, but are unavailable or uninterested when you need to talk. Over time, this one-sidedness can lead to feelings of resentment and worthlessness. But remember, your needs and feelings are just as important as theirs. Healthy relationships require effort and investment from both parties, and you deserve that. After spending time with certain people, you might feel exhausted, even if the interaction wasn't physically demanding. This emotional drain is a significant sign that the relationship is one-sided and possibly toxic. In contrast, healthy interactions leave you feeling energized and uplifted. Think about how you feel after spending time with a supportive friend who checks in on you and offers help when you need it, versus someone who always needs something from you and rarely reciprocates. Consistently feeling drained can lead to burnout, anxiety, and depression. It's crucial to recognize these feelings and evaluate whether the relationship is worth maintaining. Have you noticed that certain people never ask about your day, your job, or your feelings? This lack of interest can indicate that they see the relationship more as a convenience than a genuine connection. These individuals dominate conversations, focusing solely on their lives and problems. When you try to share something about yourself, they quickly steer the conversation back to themselves. In healthy relationships, both parties show interest in each other's lives. This mutual curiosity fosters a deeper connection and understanding. If you're the only one showing interest, it might be time to reassess the relationship. Think about your recent interactions. Who initiated the last few conversations? If you're always the one reaching out, it could be a sign that the other person isn't as invested in the relationship. You're always the one texting first, planning meetups, or calling. If you stop initiating contact, the relationship fizzles out. This imbalance can be exhausting and disheartening. Sometimes, people become accustomed to others making the effort, leading to complacency. However, in some cases, it's a sign of a deeper lack of interest or respect. Either way, A balanced relationship should have mutual effort and communication. Do you have friends who are never around when you need support but expect you to drop everything for them? This unreliability can be incredibly frustrating and hurtful. They cancel plans at the last minute, don't show up when promised, or always have an excuse when you ask for help. Yet, when they need something, they expect immediate assistance. This behavior can make you feel undervalued and alone. It's essential to have reliable friends who are there for you in times of need, not just when it's convenient for them. Imagine this: a friend who only calls when they need something from you. Whether it's borrowing money, asking for a ride, or needing help with a project, these requests seem never-ending. The pattern is clear. They rarely call to see how you're doing or to spend quality time together. To make a long story short, if someone is constantly asking for favors but never reciprocates or offers help in return, it's a major red flag. True friends help each other out and balance the give and take in their relationships. It's essential to recognize this pattern, assert your boundaries, and demand the respect you deserve. Consider this scenario. You're always the go-to person for favors. It's you who stays late to help with work, you who listens for hours when they need to vent, you who lends money without hesitation. But when you need assistance, they're nowhere to be found or suddenly busy. This imbalance indicates a one-sided relationship where you're being used for what you can offer rather than being appreciated for who you are. Ask yourself, how often do you find yourself saying yes to favors that inconvenience you? And how usually does that friend offer help without you asking? If the answers reveal a one-sided dynamic, it's time to reassess the relationship. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual support and respect, not on one person being taken advantage of. So, after watching this video, take a moment to reflect on your relationships and consider if any of these signs are present. If they are, it might be time to have a conversation with the other person about your feelings and expectations in the relationship. Now, let's talk about conversations. Picture this. Every time you speak with a certain someone, the conversation is always about them. They barely ask about your life, your feelings, or your interests. Instead, they monopolize the conversation, making it all about their experiences and problems. To make a long story short, a lack of genuine interest in your life is a telltale sign of being used. When someone truly cares about you, they naturally want to know how you're doing and what's happening in your life. They ask questions, listen attentively, and remember details. Think about the last few conversations you had with this person. Did they ask about your recent promotion? Did they remember that you were feeling down last week? If not, it might be because they're more interested in what you can provide for them rather than who you are as a person. Consider this. Real friends are there for the highs and lows. They celebrate your successes and support you during tough times. If someone isn't showing this level of care, it's a sign they might be using you to fill their own emotional or social needs without truly valuing your companionship. Emotional manipulation is a subtle yet powerful way people use others. It involves making you feel guilty, responsible, or obliged to do things for them. For instance, they might say things like, "I don't know what I'd do without you," or "You're the only one who understands me," to make you feel indispensable. To make a long story short, manipulation is about control. When someone uses guilt or flattery to get what they want from you, they're not valuing you as a person. They're valuing what you can do for them. Think about a time when you felt pressured to help someone because of how they framed their need. Did you feel a sense of guilt or obligation that overrode your own needs or plans? This tactic is often employed by those who want to keep you under their influence. Here's a scenario. You're exhausted from a long week, but a friend calls, crying about a problem. Despite your need for rest, they insist you come over. You feel bad saying no, so you go. This pattern of manipulation keeps you constantly at their beck and call, putting their needs above your own. Recognizing manipulation involves being aware of how you feel during interactions. Do you often feel drained, guilty, or resentful after helping them? If so, it's crucial to set boundaries and prioritize your well-being. Flattery can be another tool of manipulation. It's when someone excessively compliments you to get something in return. While everyone enjoys a compliment now and then, constant flattery followed by requests is a red flag. To make a long story short, if someone only praises you when they need something, it's not genuine. Flattery should come without strings attached. Consider this. A colleague always tells you how amazing and talented you are right before asking for help with their workload. Or a friend praises your cooking skills just before asking you to host a party. These compliments, while nice, are strategically placed to lower your guard and make you more willing to help. Ask yourself, are the compliments you receive followed by requests? Genuine praise makes you feel good without expecting anything in return. If flattery seems like a prelude to favor, you're likely being manipulated. It's essential to differentiate between sincere appreciation and manipulative flattery. The latter is often over the top and followed closely by a request, making you feel obliged to comply. Recognizing this pattern can help you avoid being used and maintain healthier interactions. Ever notice someone who always wants to be the star of the show? They dominate conversations, seek constant validation, and ensure all eyes are on them. While some people naturally crave attention, those who constantly overshadow others might be using you to fulfill their need for an audience. To make a long story short, if someone always needs to be the center of attention, they might be using you as a means to enhance their own social status or self-esteem. Imagine a social gathering where one friend consistently steers all discussions back to themselves. They interrupt, talk over others, and rarely give anyone else a chance to speak. This behavior indicates they value the spotlight more than the actual relationships. Reflect on your interactions with this person. Do they show interest in your life, or are they more focused on how you can contribute to their narrative? True friends value each other's stories and achievements, not just their own. In relationships, it's important to share the spotlight. If someone isn't willing to give you your moment, it's a sign they might be using you to feed their ego. Balance and mutual respect are key to healthy friendships and partnerships. Real friends stand by you through thick and thin. However, if someone is only present when things are going well and disappears during challenging times, it's a clear sign they might be using you. To make a long story short, a true friend offers support and empathy when you're facing difficulties. They won't vanish when you need them the most. Consider this. You're going through a tough period, whether it's due to personal, professional, or health issues. While you're struggling, this person is nowhere to be found. They don't check in on you, offer a listening ear, or lend a hand. Yet, when things are going well, they're quick to reappear, eager to share in your happiness. Ask yourself, how often is this person there for you when you need emotional support? Do they make an effort to be present during your low moments? If not, it's a sign that their interest in you is conditional and possibly self-serving. Reflect on the importance of mutual support in relationships. It's crucial to have friends who are willing to be there during your darkest hours, not just for the good times. This kind of support builds trust and deepens connections, making it essential to recognize and distance yourself from those who only stick around when it's convenient for them. Healthy competition can be motivating, but if someone constantly tries to outdo you or diminish your achievements, it's a sign of a toxic dynamic. They might be using you as a benchmark for their success, constantly striving to one-up you. To make a long story short, a friend who sees you as a competitor rather than a companion is likely using your achievements to fuel their insecurities. Imagine this scenario. You share exciting news about a recent promotion, and instead of celebrating with you, this person immediately talks about their achievements. They might even belittle your success or imply that it's not a big deal compared to theirs. This behavior is a sign of insecurity and a need to feel superior. Ask yourself, does this person celebrate your successes or try to overshadow them? Do they genuinely support your growth, or do they seem threatened by it? If you notice a pattern of competition rather than celebration, it's a sign that the relationship is unhealthy. True friends uplift and celebrate each other's achievements. They don't feel the need to compete or compare. Recognizing this difference is crucial in ensuring you surround yourself with supportive and positive influences. Apologizing is a fundamental part of maintaining healthy relationships. It shows humility, accountability, and respect for the other person's feelings. However, if someone rarely, if ever, apologizes for their mistakes or hurtful behavior, it's a significant red flag. To make a long story short, a lack of genuine apologies indicates a lack of respect and accountability. It shows that the person prioritizes their ego over your feelings. Consider this. You express how their actions have hurt you, but instead of offering a sincere apology, they become defensive, shift the blame, or minimize your feelings. This lack of accountability is a clear sign that they don't value the relationship enough to acknowledge their faults. Ask yourself, How often does this person take responsibility for their actions? Do they apologize and make amends, or do they deflect and deny? A genuine apology is crucial for repairing trust and fostering a healthy relationship. Reflect on the importance of mutual respect and accountability. Healthy relationships involve both parties acknowledging their mistakes and striving to do better. If someone isn't willing to apologize, it's a sign that they might be using you without regard for your feelings or the health of the relationship. Boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy relationships. They protect your well-being and ensure mutual respect. However, if someone constantly invades your personal space, disregards your boundaries, or pressures you to do things you're uncomfortable with, it's a major red flag. To make a long story short, a lack of respect for your boundaries indicates a lack of respect for you as a person. It shows that they prioritize their desires over your comfort and autonomy. Imagine this scenario. You've set clear boundaries about your time, space, or personal preferences, but this person continually ignores them. They show up unannounced, pressure you into social events, or demand more of your time and energy than you're willing to give. This behavior is a sign of disrespect and manipulation. Ask yourself, how often does this person respect your boundaries? Do they acknowledge and honor your limits, or do they push against them? Boundaries are essential for your mental and emotional health, and anyone who disregards them is not respecting you. Reflect on the importance of boundaries in maintaining healthy relationships. It's crucial to communicate and enforce your limits to ensure mutual respect and understanding. Recognizing and addressing boundary violations is essential for your well-being and the health of your relationships. Money can be a sensitive topic in any relationship. However, if someone frequently borrows money without repaying, expects you to cover expenses, or exploits your generosity, it's a clear sign of financial exploitation. To make a long story short, financial exploitation involves taking advantage of your financial resources without reciprocation or repayment. It shows a lack of respect for your hard work and economic well-being. Consider this. A friend or family member constantly asks for loans, never repays, or expects you to foot the bill for outings and events. They might make you feel guilty or obligated to support them financially, even when it's detrimental to your finances. Ask yourself, how often does this person take financial advantage of you? Do they show appreciation and make efforts to repay, or do they exploit your generosity? Financial boundaries are crucial for maintaining healthy relationships and ensuring your financial security. Reflect on the importance of mutual respect and fairness in financial matters. It's essential to set clear boundaries and expectations regarding money to protect yourself from exploitation. Recognizing these signs can help you identify when someone is using you and take steps to protect yourself. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, support, and genuine care. By setting boundaries and prioritizing your well-being, you can cultivate relationships that uplift and empower you rather than drain and exploit you. While it's normal for friends to ask for occasional favors, constantly being on the receiving end without offering anything in return is a sign of imbalance in the relationship. To make a long story short, if someone only reaches out when they need something from you, it indicates that they may be using you for their benefit. Imagine this scenario. Every time this person contacts you, it's because they need help moving, borrowing money, or getting a ride somewhere. They rarely, if ever, check in on you to see how you're doing or offer support without expecting something in return. Ask yourself if this person consistently asks for favors without reciprocating. Do they take advantage of your kindness and willingness to help? If so, it's essential to reassess the dynamics of the relationship and set boundaries to protect yourself from being taken advantage of. Reflect on the importance of balance and reciprocity in relationships. True friendships involve give and take, with both parties offering support and assistance when needed. If someone only contacts you when they need something, it's a sign that the relationship may be one-sided and unhealthy. Manipulative individuals often use charm, guilt-tripping, or emotional manipulation to get what they want from others. They may play on your emotions or insecurities to manipulate you into doing their bidding. To make a long story short, if someone consistently tries to manipulate your emotions or decisions for their own benefit, it's a clear sign that they may be using you. Consider this. This person often employs guilt-tripping tactics to make you feel obligated to comply with their requests. They may use flattery or praise to manipulate your emotions and gain your trust, only to exploit it for their gain. Ask yourself, does this person use manipulation tactics to control or influence your behavior? Do they make you feel guilty or obligated to do things you're uncomfortable with? If so, it's crucial to recognize these tactics and assert your boundaries to protect yourself from manipulation. Reflect on the importance of autonomy and agency in relationships. Healthy connections are built on trust, honesty, and mutual respect, not manipulation and coercion. Recognizing and addressing manipulative behavior is essential for maintaining your well-being and the integrity of your relationships. Healthy relationships require effort and investment from both parties. If someone consistently fails to reciprocate your efforts or invest in the relationship, it's a sign that they may not value your connection as much as you do. To make a long story short, if someone is unwilling to put in the same level of effort or commitment as you, it suggests that they may be taking advantage of your kindness and generosity. Imagine this scenario. You're always the one initiating contact, planning outings, or offering support, while this person rarely, if ever, reciprocates. They may take your efforts for granted or assume that you'll always be there to cater to their needs without expecting anything in return. Ask yourself, does this person make an effort to nurture and sustain the relationship, or do they rely on you to do all the work? Are they willing to invest time, energy, and resources into building a meaningful connection, or do they prioritize their own needs and desires above yours? Reflect on the importance of mutual investment and reciprocity in relationships. True connections are built on shared experiences, mutual respect, and a willingness to support each other through thick and thin. If someone fails to reciprocate your efforts, it's a sign that they may not value the relationship as much as you do. Healthy relationships should uplift and energize you, not drain you emotionally. If someone consistently leaves you feeling exhausted, drained, or emotionally depleted after interactions, it's a sign that they may be taking advantage of your kindness and empathy. To make a long story short, if someone consistently leaves you feeling emotionally drained or depleted, it suggests that they may be using you as a source of emotional support without offering the same in return. Consider this. Every time you interact with this person, you walk away feeling emotionally exhausted or drained. They may monopolize the conversation, constantly venting about their problems or seeking validation and reassurance without considering your needs or feelings. Ask yourself, does this person respect your emotional boundaries and needs, or do they consistently disregard them? Are they willing to listen and offer support when you're going through a tough time, or do they only reach out when they need someone to lean on? Reflect on the importance of maintaining emotional boundaries and self-care in relationships. It's crucial to prioritize your well-being and surround yourself with people who uplift and support you rather than drain and deplete you. Recognizing and addressing emotional vampires is essential for maintaining your mental and emotional health. Ultimately, the most telling sign that someone is using you is a lack of genuine connection or intimacy in the relationship. If you feel like you're constantly putting in effort without getting anything meaningful in return, it's a sign that the connection may be superficial or one-sided. To make a long story short, if you feel like you're the only one investing in the relationship or that your efforts aren't being reciprocated, it suggests that the other person may not genuinely care about you or value your connection. Imagine this scenario. Despite your best efforts to build a meaningful connection, you always feel like there's a barrier preventing true intimacy or closeness. This person may be emotionally distant, guarded, or unwilling to open up and be vulnerable with you. Ask yourself, do you feel truly seen, heard, and valued in this relationship? Or do you constantly feel like you're fighting for attention and validation? Are your efforts to connect met with genuine interest and reciprocity, or should they be brushed aside? Reflect on the importance of authentic connection and mutual respect in relationships. True connections are built on trust, vulnerability, and shared experiences, not manipulation or exploitation. If you feel like you're being used or taken advantage of, it's essential to prioritize your well-being and seek out relationships that nourish and uplift you. Remember, recognizing these signs is the first step towards protecting yourself and fostering healthier relationships. By understanding the importance of balance, reciprocity, and genuine connection, you can empower yourself to set boundaries, assert your needs, and cultivate relationships that bring joy, fulfillment, and mutual support. If you found this content valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful discussions on navigating life and relationships. Your support helps us continue creating content that empowers and uplifts our community. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll delve into more topics aimed at helping you lead a happier, more fulfilling life. Until then, take care, stay mindful, and remember to prioritize your well-being in all your interactions. Thank you, and see you next time.